Greetings my dears, in love and light. I'm Nikki Sutton. Here's a tip to help improve your psychic abilities. Now if you're already really psychic, then this may or may not add to your knowledge. But for those who are just beginners, this can really help. Okay, so I've been working on some psychic communication recently quite a bit to help improve my own. Now it's always best to practice with someone you know well, because when you build up a connection with someone, you build up a psychic connection. And there's been research done to show that friends are much more psychically connected than strangers, although we are all connected. So they would put participants who are friends, one in one room and another in another room, and one would be given electric shocks, but the other one wouldn't know when. And they would have electrodes attached to their head, and scientists could see that they were responding on a subconscious level when their friend was receiving electric shocks at those moments. So their brains were showing signs of experiencing fear of these electric shocks at the very same time that they were really occurring. But when it was performed on strangers, it didn't work so well. So it's easiest to practice your psychic abilities with someone you're very close to. So I practice with my partner, and I'm going to describe to you what it feels like to have psychic communication so you can recognise when it's happening. When I'm with my partner, what we'll do is we'll sit opposite each other and sort of look into each other's eyes a bit. And then we'll close our eyes and we'll make sure we're in a relaxed state. It's always best when you're very relaxed, because then the conscious mind isn't interfering and making stuff up. If you're reaching for mental images, if you're searching for mental images, it won't work. This is a clairvoyant skill. This is how I've been doing it anyway, most successfully recently. So it can be done with a sense of knowing, claircognizance. But I'm going to talk about clairvoyance here, so that's images that form in the mind. Now also you can refer to my video on remote viewing as well, because this is a lot like that. It's letting images form in your mind. We've been having some amazingly successful results together because we are very close, so it does really help. So we'll each close our eyes and he will think about a scene. So he's good at visualizing too, which also helps me, because some people aren't so good at holding mental images in their minds, and they therefore need to use claircognizance, a sense of knowing instead. So he will visualize a scene or a picture or something like that. So what I do is just allow my mind to clear, as if in a meditative state. So it helps to have done a lot of meditation in the past as well. So I know when my mind is calm and clear. Feeling calm and clear, I reset to that point of emptiness, of nothingness, and through practice I've reached that quite well and can hold it for a short while. Real emptiness. So then, non-judgmentally and without reaching or searching or creating any images, I just allow. I'm in a state of non-judgmental allowing, and allow an image to form. And it could be anything. I mean, he was thinking of a scene in Thailand that he'd been to. And what formed for me in my mind, I saw myself in an oriental scene in a fish market. It was a market. So I described to him what I'm seeing, and he says, yes, I'm picturing a scene in Thailand when we are in a street market. So this is what it's like. Now, as I described the scene in more depth, it wasn't exactly the same as his scene. But what are the chances of picking an oriental scene in a market which is the same? And we repeat this over and over and over again, and it's way beyond chance. I'm talking in 10 attempts, I'll get 8 right of what he's thinking of. Random things that I have no clue. Okay, things that he's done before I even met him. So I'd like to reinforce the point that your own mind does fill in the gaps. So if it's not exactly the same, then that's why. Here's another example. He was thinking of going mushroom picking in the woods, and the ground was dry, and he saw a deer. Okay, so I was in the very relaxed state. We were there opposite each other. My mind was clear. He was picturing this scene. My mind was clear, and I let it form. I just saw the mental images as they formed in my mind, non-judgmentally, not searching. I'm not trying to reach into his mind. I'm not trying to see inside his mind or read his mind. All it is my intention is I'm going to know what you know. I'm going to see what you see. And then non-judgmental emptiness, nothingness, and let the images form. No pulling, no reaching, no searching, no nothing. Let them form. So, as I said, mushroom picking, he looked down at the ground and it was sort of dry and dusty in parts, and he saw a deer. Now what I saw was berry picking berries. So I was picking berries. I looked down at my feet and it was sort of dusty and dry, and I looked up and I saw a donkey. So I described this to him and he's like, oh my gosh, yes, but obviously try not to get too excited because then it brings you out of your relaxed state. So the concept of picking something, although I had berries instead of mushrooms, and then some kind of dry earth, and then seeing it a four-legged animal that resembled a deer, but it was a donkey, I felt like it was. So those three things that he visualized and saw, and then I got all three, but almost the same. You see, your mind fills in the gaps. It's how your mind interprets it. So when you're trying to do these things, if it's very close but a little bit off, so it's beating chance, it seems like you're getting it, but it's a little bit wonky, like the concepts are so nearly there, like picking something. Wow, how would I get that? That's so random. But it's not quite the right thing. Know that your mind is receiving the info, but it's interpreting it and showing you in your mind. So take your time and just let it flow, okay? Don't question, like, is that right? Just say what you see. And mostly, it should be mostly right, but a little bit wonky here and there. So I really hope that that helps with your own psychic practice. So when you're practicing, just to get a feel for the process, practice with someone you're really close to, if there is someone that will do that with you, that you spent lots of time with, and preferably you get on well with as well. And that'll show you how the process works, what it feels like, and you'll maybe be very amazed at what comes through. So he's been working on it the other way around. He doesn't get it quite as much as I do, but I think it's because I've had quite a bit of practice. Now, for those of you that are well-established, well-practiced psychics, you're probably like, of course I get it, I do it all the time. Fantastic, lovely. So for those who are a little newer to it and you just needed a little bit of direction there, I really hope this has helped to clarify what it feels like to perform a psychic reading and give you some insight on how to do it. Okay. Support this Spiritual Awakening YouTube channel on Patreon and receive weekly bonus videos. You can also choose to receive spiritual guidance via email or spiritual sessions. So don't forget to click subscribe if you're not already a subscriber to receive regular spiritual inspiration on your journey through life. Like and share also, because we're raising the mass vibration together. So go now in love and peace.